Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I am your host, TobiWan, bringing your English live stream for tonight for our one and only matchup. That's right, normally we use the weekend for those extra days for those hard to schedule matches, and this was one of those matches. We had ourselves a delay of, well, I go 16 minutes on my clock over here on the side, as there was a little bit of conversations about the servers going on between these two teams. Though we do have the team formerly known as Quantic, and our overlays will show it as Quantic. In fact, let's just bring up their team profile right now. Recently picked up by the organization Sigma. I guess it is the lineup with Fader back again from his hand injury, so he is playing in this lineup. But it has the French, it has a couple of Germans, and then our stray Dane with Miguel in that one. And they're going up against the boys from America. It is the Evil Geniuses team, the team which has the reason for the fourth bit of our stat screen over on the right side, the possibility of throws. But it is really a looking more and more stable team as time really does go on. And EG, well, I've been impressed time and time again with them, and I'm looking to be more impressed today. I'm hoping to be massively impressed by them today, going up against a team like Sigma. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for this Sigma team, because every single time they play, I just love both Fader as well as Mad. They are really cool guys. I got to actually cast a lot with Mad at the, well, 2 Star hours ago, because I had Bruno for the last one. But he is such a guy that thinks everything through. I've actually known him since the very early days of Dota 2, when he was playing around at every single team he can get his hands on, and attending so many different dream hacks, and he's been around for a very, very long time. And Fader, he's got an exceptional mid solo, and you see Fear in the first two heroes already banning out against directly those 2 solos. The Bat Rider as well as the Puck. Also looking towards the offlane. It's the possibility for that Bat Rider, but it's just a good all-round style of ban. Of course, this does mean we're going to let a whole lot of heroes slip through the pool, but these days, in this new patch version of Dota 2, anyone could do anything. It's really not limited at all, this pool. When you have your first 2 bans, you ban out against maybe core counters or heroes which you just don't like playing up against, and then the world is your oyster for what you want to pick up. Even heroes who used to be like 100% ban every single game, and if he wasn't, he was picked up in the first 2. Talking about the Wisp has completely changed as well. Darkseer and Alchemist, the combination from TI, that's changed around too. So you see where we move our bans to. Naga as well as Lich. Lich, with his new buff ups, is just so damn powerful. And then Naga Siren. No matter how aware we get with the state of the meta and the way teams want to approach games, Naga Siren got nerfed a little bit with a Riptide, but that's it. You've still got the Naga Sleep, and that allows you to control the Rosh Pit, and you still have a stun, or in this case, a snare, which will go through a BKB immune target. So you just can't turn that kind of stuff down. And then later on in the game, to have the options where you can have mirror images with a gem scouting around the map as well, and then they carry the Riptide as well. There's just so many fantastic things that you can work with here. And Bucking Mad, we're going to see him go down the... I just hit a wrong button. We're going to see him go down the lines of a Pugner, one of the most favorited heroes. After the first couple of days, we saw Pugner emerge, and after that, it's just been here every single day. Somewhere in the world of Dota 2, a Pugner is being played. Hilarious thing is, last time these 2 teams faced up, they faced up in the Fragbite Masters, in fact, where EG was able to take a 1-0 victory over them. And it was in that game as well that we saw, I don't know if it was actually first pick or not, but it was Universe on that Clockwork. So they ran the Clockwork. We ended up having this team fight, Ricky Maru, Crystal Maiden, Night Stalker, jungling kind of approach from EG, which was really very, very dynamic at the end of the day, going up against the Sigma lineup, which is a lot more heavily focused on their lanes. They went for the Naga, then they had their Bane, they had their Gyro, the Lifestealer, and the Viper. All of these heroes together, it just really came down to lane dominance. But that was a best of 1. This is a best of 3, so there's a lot more, well, I'd say there's a lot more to change as the game goes on. You want to play a Pugner Visage strat in the very early stage. So you got 2 heroes already up, which have tremendous amounts of nuke power, like absolutely tremendous amounts of nuke power. You've got Soul Assumption as well as a Nether Blast, which buffs up with the Decrepify. There isn't many heroes that can survive a combination like that. Like, you get a 500 damage nuke at level 7 on a Visage. And you'd only need like 1 point to cripify, maybe a little bit more. And that's buffed up to be even higher. EG cannot go for fragile supports. They cannot go with fragile supports in this kind of game. And then you've got, like, EG, they start banning out Chen, they ban out the Timbersaw, they realize they're going to lose a lot of life. I'm surprised they didn't want to get both those heroes themselves, but they've already got the Clockwork and they've already got the Darkseer, which means right now, it's either going to be a support Clockwork with an offlane Darkseer, or an offlane Darkseer with the Clockwork, very old combination, that you can run dual lanes, obviously with the changes to creep waves. Okay, we're still going to get the Gyrocopter here for Soshka. So no matter what happens, we get our Nukem, which means Fadus Pugna should be playing up here unless they're going to try and run an off-lane Visage and Pugna combo. That's a scary off-lane dual lane to come out from Sigma if they do so. Yeah, there's Clockwork and Darkseer. I'm interested to see exactly how it fits in. If it will be Universe again up on that Clockwork, if they try something a little bit more different here. Even go back to the old school days of just a straight-up Darkseer jungle.
10 seconds remaining.
Night Stalker.
Well, we get our Night Stalker. So we're getting a combination which is very similar. It was our boy. Well, actually, they had a stand-in for that last game. I'm actually just checking out the rosters for that last game as well. Oh no, that was him. That is MSS. But just in total, his full name is Mojo Storm Stout. That is his full name, MSS. So it will be a Night Stalker if we go with history to be a solo mid-roll here.
10 seconds remaining.
And look to see the Crystal Maiden come up here or some other hard carry for EG. They ran Jo as a stealth assassin last time, but up against this kind of lineup, I don't know if SA is going to be the best pickup. And yeah, Maz done his homework. He takes out the CM from EG. I say done his homework. He just has to remember the last time these two teams engaged in combat. And then he'll have his answer. But Fear, Weaver. So that'll be his hard carry and JO's hero for this game. Which means we're just missing one last support to come out here from the EG lineup. With their lineup, I'd expect something along the lines of a Jakiro. And the main reason why I'm saying Jakiro is because I'm thinking about a tanky support that is capable of also combining up nicely with the rest of these heroes. And Darkseer as well as Night Stalker. You already got Darkseer for the vac-in, so you get your Ice Path and your Macropie combination with that one. But Nice Path, insanely easy ability to land and lock down control when you've also got the Void to slow down from Night Stalker. And then Weaver wants his space to move as well. But they could go down other lines as well, depending on how they want to run this. If they want to go stay ability, LOA is still available in the pool, even though it is dispellable. You don't have any kind of real diffusal blade heroes over on Sigma. So we'll see. We'll see what EG wants to do. Venomancer will be the final ban out by Mad, and no, that's rightly so too. You could have seen a Night Stalker and Venomancer long lane, or even safe lane, or however they want to run it. Night Stalker should be in the middle lane, however, but you can still run dual lanes in the mid. Nothing's going to stop you from doing such a thing. And with Venomancer wards on the high ground, you'll always know what Pugna's going to do, and he can't blast down those wards. He damages buildings, but I don't believe the Pugna blast damages the wards at all. So Venomancer would have been a good way to hold off this push, if it is going to be a push. If they get like their last hero up here, and it's like Lone Druid coming up as their last one, like they already banned out the Lycan, so they're a little bit concerned about a straight-up push.
Team pick.
It could come from EG. Also, the ability to control up that Lycan. They don't really have many abilities that can do that. The Crystal Maiden Frostbite's the only hard stunner you're looking at until those familiar birds get out in the field. So there's a lot of work to be done there as well. And Mad kind of want this last hero of his to have an extra stun for the team, especially up against a Weaver or a Silence. We could look at Queen of Pain or Storm Spirit, but considering you've already got the Pugna, it means you're going to push the Gyro with maybe the Crystal Maiden at the bottom, Pugna and Visage in the mid, and then add another one, which could be that Silence style here of the Storm or the Quap. But then you've also got the other problem where you get Night Stalker, who is like the king of silence. So he'll lock you down in that middle lane more often than not. So heroes like Quap as well as Storm will be a very risky pickup. Probably just save it to go for that full-on tank and survivability. And keep him fearing diving underneath the nukes that can come out from Sigma. Which means you still want to have a nuking style hero that can do that job. And it'll be, in a way, a nuking style hero. We're not looking at, we got two magicals. The Snowball as well as the Ice Shards. But good way to control up the Night Stalker. You got some good bash, got some good hold on him. And you got a guy that's going to see if he can man-fight directly up against the Night Stalker. And with a roll in, if you get a good stun, you get the Ice Shards, you'll be able to control in two different ways. Both the call down as well as the Ice Shards. Forcing maybe a little bit more damage than you'd be expecting at the start. And Fear, I think that one took him a little bit off track, but it's okay. No matter what happens at the end of the day, Fear still needed to make sure he rounded up his lineup with the hero that would work for them, and still has to have enough strength. So 100% the money for Jakiro, which means it is time to get ourselves into this game, peoples. Launching ourselves in, and we can say greetings to everyone as well inside of Dota TV. If you have purchased a ticket here for the Dota 2 Champions League, congratulations. 25% of the revenue that's made off the tickets will be going to the prize money here for the pool of the Dota 2 Championship League, which is already set at $50,000, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Hopefully we'll give you an update too about how big that's going to get in the near future. Message to Zero Gravity if he's out there. All right, so lineup. It looks like we're, almost 100% on the money. Night Stalker for the middle lane. Universe long lane Clock. And he will be going with his off-lane Darkseer. So Fear's going to be heading down there, which leaves our top lane with Fogged as the Jakiro, and Jo is the last one, taking up that role as the Weaver. Then up against him on that top lane, do we look at our Pugner and Visage? No, Pugner's going to be in the middle. We'll have Miguel, in fact, up on this top lane, taking the role up as Torsky. And then he'll be babysat by Pass, who's already trying to come up here and just get an early ward out to block up this camp, but he's not going to have any kind of luck. Both Jakiro as well as the Weaver are standing very aggressively there. So Miguel will get Rune, and that'll be their only advantage. Soshka will be playing the Gyre in the bottom lane, supported by the Crystal Maiden. So that combination will still stay the same. It's just a middle lane combination, which I wasn't quite sure if they'd mix it up or not. And have Miguel man-fight up against the Night Stalker, because I don't know if I really enjoy that line a little bit more. But I got a feeling this might also come down to player preference over what heroes they want to play. I'm going to quickly refresh my input to the camera too, because that thing's been sitting there for a couple of days without being used. LOL. And up we go. So Miguel. And Pass. With a DD rune as well for that Visage. That's a really good start for him. It doesn't mean he can get a kill over on that Jakiro. What it does mean, though, he can come over here and contest the pull point. In fact, he's just going to throw an observer ward down so we can watch what's happening with that pull point. We've got to keep our eyes on the other lanes as well, especially when you go double melee on the bottom. But I want to watch this damage onto Jo. Both Ice Shards as well as just one attack from the Visage, just whittling him down a little bit. And Soshka has to fight underneath this tower. This is not a good place for him to find CS. In fact, he's got 0 for 0 right now, fighting under that tower. He basically used Rocket Barrage. Even then, he couldn't guarantee himself a last hit. Universe is going to make his life difficult, and Fear's making it even more difficult. You don't need wards when you kill off the camp beforehand. So blocking it or not, Fear just farms it up, and the Nova's going to miss there from Mad. I'm not liking this from Sigma at the moment. They're not getting any kind of bonus control. Like this middle lane MSS, like he's 3-1 up against a 6-1. So it's no surprise, really, the Fader is able to get a lot of last hits in this middle lane. As you can see with that high-level nuke, he's always going to be on top of the last hits, and it's next to impossible for a Night Stalker to deny him. He's just got to try and keep up with the hits that he is able to claim, as in gold he claims. Look at him being so defensive with a little courier, holding him in the corner until Pugner is finished with his bottle charges, using that mana and waiting for the 2-minute room. With Observer Wall, they can already see it. You see Fader. He wants to push out this lane, so then MSS has to stay on the middle lane, which means Rune, you can see it top, regeneration. Perfect. This means Courier can now go back. And Fader's got a lot more mana to spam out. And you can see his levels too. Decrepify level 1. Oh, bottom lane. Even with the Frostbite, once you get those cogs up and running, man, he just gets burned so badly. And that's before he's level 3, so he doesn't have his double regeneration of mana either, which is going to cripple him on that bottom lane. 2 burns from the Cogs. Cogs only level 1, but still doesn't make life easy. Fader trying to go for that Decrepify into Blast combo. He'll be a little bit more cautious about doing these kind of things, especially when he knows he's on the USE server. So the exact timing for a Pugner is going to be a little more difficult. There's our first blood. Only just seeing the end of it. as Fear and Universe started diving in. Cogs and Battery Assault with an Iron Shell. This is what makes this lane so, well, old. It's really, really old school. We expect nothing less from a player like Fear. He is the old man of the US Dota scene. But that is just one of those moments where you're like, yeah, I remember this combination. I remember how painful it was. It was like the SD into the clockwork. You just get the Battery Assault going, and there's no way out for these heroes in the bottom. Gyro and Crystal Maiden both don't have an escape mechanism, and Frostbiting is enough. Now on top lane, Pass taking a lot of damage there. JO into a good reposition on that top. Able to start off with a Frostbite and just hold that Visage in position. Not the easiest of heroes to kill off. But then again, he doesn't have any points up in his Gravekeeper's Cloak just yet, so a little bit easier at the moment to kill off. So EG definitely winning on the bottom as well as the top lane now. The middle lane is just their problem. Like, what do you have coming out at this point of the game? You have a bottle coming out to MSS. He's got to use the whole thing and just praying he's going to have a 4-minute rune on the bottom. Because Fader will see the rune on the top. He's already going to try and blast down this tower. He's got 3 levels up in that blast, and it is going to be an Invis rune on top. So the bottle comes in for MSS, but the rune goes to Fader, which means MSS has to use the entire bottle charge up and then throw it back on his courier. And it's first nighttime cycle, and all you got in your Night Stalker is boots in the bottle. That's not enough, peoples. That's not enough. Obviously, top lane. How did Weaver even get caught out in this one? Soul Assumption damage. Miguel Snowball, I'm guessing it's a high level up in Soul Assumption. No, it's only level 1. And then down the bottom lane, Crystal Main's going to go down. She did manage to get the kill out in the Clockwork, and Soshka's doing enough damage, and Fear, without that extra Iron Shell damage, he's not going to... Oh, he does! He was able to get the fist bump in. And then follow up with the Iron Shell damage, which he only just managed to refresh himself. At the same time, MSS is rotating out. He's looking for Soshka and then TP out. Can be cancelled. Void's going to be used. Rocket flying in as well from the Clockwork. And he's got that Battery Assault. You already hear that Rocket Barrage going. Tusker can kill off Jakiro on the opposite end of this fight now. But at the same time, MSS, he's waiting for that one last Void to do because he wants the money from this and he gets it as well. Top lane, Jo now. Man, we're just bouncing around every single lane. With Mad, after respawning, rotating up towards the top lane, meaning that Gyro was left down here by himself, making that Night Stalker rotation gank a lot more useful. And he runs the bottle again. Only has to go halfway because MSS obviously has this very, very high movement speed during nighttime. The only downside for him is this nighttime is very, very short, even though it does come sooner. And Fader returns to the middle. Mr. 34 for 5. Highest net worth by far, especially when he's able to take out that mid tower. And MSS, you know, he kind of wants to fight, but at the same time, Decrepify is like the perfect counter up against him. Stops him from doing his DPS apart from the Void. But Fader doesn't mind it when he gets voided up like that. The only thing he's worried about is controlling the runes. And he's going to get another one as well. And the reason why I say he doesn't worry about getting voided up is because he's spamming at 145 mana per pop every time he goes for that Nether Blast. Which means he wants to lose life anyway. He's going to use the bottle charges anyway, so what's the point? The harassment damage of MSS, in fact, does absolutely nothing to Fader. And Fader, he's being very over-aggressive here for a very, very good reason. There's smoke movement coming out from both Pass as well as Mad. They're searching for an opening. Right now it's 5-4. They have a 3k advantage, 1.5k in the experience as well. So they're looking good. And this Dire Observer Ward's watching very closely the Crystal Maiden. Universe is level 6, so he would like to jump on somebody, but he can't do it. 1, because that's a level 1 hook shot, so he's got to come in a lot closer. And 2, there's no follow-up. Night Stalker and Fear are up on the top lane, so he doesn't even have his old support from the Darkseer. He's now like setting up a pull. Does he block up this camp by being here as well? No, he's going to move far enough back over to the side. But he didn't get the pull off properly because of it. But a bottom lane rotation. So as always expected when you have a partner in your lineup, you get these push strats. And Matt was already making it clearly like, oh wow, live train, hook shots away. First time he has to use that hook shot defensively. I think Sigma would have preferred to have the kill on him, but at the same time now they get to claim 2 tier 2 towers. As Fader will just bottle up the rest of this and they just keep pushing. They got a catapult behind him. Soshka can mop up the creep waves when they come in, even though he has popped this flat cannon very early on for some unknown reason. And now they're going to back up. TP comes back from Universe. He doesn't have ultimate available, and they may even consider killing him. If Mag get a Frostbite, then they've got to kill. Just like before, except this time there won't be any kind of hook shot that can be used. And rotation from EG is being very, very slow to come in and help him out here. In fact, we will see a fallback. They leave one aggressive ward behind them so they know when they can come back again. And they'll also see the fact the Fear is rotated down here. Yeah, that's the vision of the Radiant side there. And you see how far in that ward is viewing. They'll see the Soul Ring. They see any kind of movement going over towards the side shot from the bottom lane. And they got the other ward, which is watching outside the Rosh pit. So there's no real way for EG to surprise Sigma if they're trying to gank up inside the Radiant side jungle, unless they basically jump themselves inside of a smoke. And they do that in an area which has no vision, which couldn't still be around here. But knowing EG, they'll be rather cautious and just throw down a sentry wall before they do it, just to make sure. But the rotation's already happening again from Sigma. They've taken down 2 tier 1 towers. Soshka wants to farm this bottom lane. He's not feeling confident enough to jump out because he knows the Clockwork ulti. Well, actually, no. The Clockwork ulti is still on cooldown. Long duration. And the push will just come top lane. And in fact, after that cooldown, Soshka's bailing out. No one's down there. They're taking a tier 1 tower, so they make sure the Soshka doesn't die, and you get a tower trade. This is just really smart play coming out from Sigma. Really smart play. And in the meantime, JA's losing a region to farm. Night Stalker is losing his tier 1 tower, so he's losing his TP support from his fellow heroes when he goes ganking in the next nighttime phase, which is still another 3 minutes away. You've got no darkness to alter the timeline, so it will still be at every 4-minute mark. And Soshka, oh, he wants to have a crack at Fear. Just some Rocket Barrage damage, and they bring in some help. Miguel, Snowball, it's going on Fear. It won't pick up Soshka, but he's got a Walrus Punch up his sleeve, which means Gyro just turns on the heat and finishes one last hit in. So that means Fear finds himself overcommitted. All tier 1 towers now down for EG, and Sigma have every single tier 1 tower still up. And judging by how much damage they've taken, the bottom one's the most injured, and it's about 50% of its life points. Was that ultimate? Yeah, that's ultimate nighttime. So they are going to extend this, and this for a gank up on top lane. Universe tried it up on Fader. Fader throws down the Nether Ward, so then MSS can throw out the Void. And Fader, he's trying to trade switch so we can at least do one last blast. He was sure the mana for the Nether Blast until he switched to Intel. Menu was going to die quicker, but knew he can get the blast off in time. So at least makes MSS burn through a little bit of the bottle charges, and then nighttime wears off, but he picks up a haste rune. So he's quite happy with that life. Flight cannon damage. They're calling to go bottom lane now. Bracer will fly in on the Gyro, but it's the 3 heroes coming inside the smoke over towards Fear, which is going to have him dead. Just need to wait until he's... Oh, you can see him now. It's all revealed, Matt. It's all revealed. It's back to daytime vision. And Fear just sits back behind the tower. The Pugner will be walking out the middle lane. So they don't have the Pugner for this push. So there's no burst damage straight in the tower. And now, there goes your nice little hold. Frost Nova as well. Fear, he's still going to sit on top of the tower. He does not want to have to loop himself out of those ice shards.
I have not seen you for... Oh.
I don't know who the hell that was talking. Doesn't sound like Torske, Mega. Pass will be back into the middle lane with Fader. So Fader, Ogre Club to start with. Well, probably should be looking at that one. Clockwork able to latch himself in on a Soshka, and then they're going to surge up Universe too. He's still got that Iron Shell on top of him with a Void. They're considering jumping on that Crystal Maiden, but Ben Pugner just jumps down the bottom lane too. The Haste Rune's allowing Night Stalker to move around quite freely, but remember, it's still not nighttime yet. So he doesn't have all of his buff ups from that. But with Fader on this bottom lane, they may just try and force this. You got another set of Ice Shards coming down. That's a long range one too. But with the Dual Breath up at level 3, the 1 point up in the choosable Liquid Fire now, as well as the Ice Path, it's very dangerous for Sigma to push into these tier 2 towers unless they have all 5 heroes there, which they don't. They have a Meg Charge, however, so that's nice for Miguel. Means they've got team fight potential, and Fader already rotating in towards his middle lane. Gonna find MSS, and you see him. He pops off that Nether Ward just in case there was gonna be that silence. Couldn't hold him there long enough for the Familiars to come in for the stomp. And they'll pick off this Nether Ward. And Mad already looking for... Whoops! Another position Mad was looking to do that. Frostbite can't get in range for Fear now. Threw it out in this box here where he really meant to do it over in this box here. I don't think you can actually double tap your Frost Nova. And that's kind of what it felt like just then. Soshka is back to farming, almost up to the money for the drums. We got something coming out in the courier. We're going to have a gem coming out for pass. Looks like it will be the BKB. I was wondering if it will be Ags or if it will be BKB for Pugna. And it'll be BKB. Doesn't want to get silenced. And now, going to go for a bit of a wander. Oh, I'm not quite sure if he should have done that or not. But then again, he had 2 illusions there, so maybe it's okay. They maybe didn't realize that. And then Fog walks directly. Frostbitten, sharded up, and then snowballed to death. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas from Tusker. And they're looking to top lane now. And you see Jo just running himself away. Nice thing for Clockwork to have Blade Mail, as well as that hook shot up and running for this fight. And EG, when Jakiro spawns up in 7 seconds time, can just TP in here. But there's already an Observer Ward from Sigma looking out for this. One more Pugna Blast at the right time. In fact, there goes your Nether Ward already. You can see that damage. Clockwork basically kills himself in the middle of that fight. And then Soshka, well, he's trying to clean up a lot of these illusions too, because the Darkseid got a good wall down, but then Soul Assumptioned up. In fact, it's going to be Pugna that takes the double kill from here. Decrepify, another blast, get him fly out, and Fog very, very low on light, but faded with the triple kill from here. 4 heroes losing the Alliance for EG, and when you have a Pugna this early on, you don't care if it's 14 minutes or 50 minutes. You push down towers. Nether Blast destroys creep waves as well as buildings. The only thing they don't have in this one is a Leshrac to help them with their push, but they don't need it. You're dishing out that much burst damage to a tower. One more blast, they got it. And because Fortification was also used by EG previously, they cannot defend against this. Clockwork will deny the tower. It's a nice little play there by Universe. But he's got no ulti to jump out to. And in fact, Sigma will fall back. Everyone's back up again for EG, so they don't have to take any kind of risk. That was possibly a risky TP coming out, but they all get back out to safety and they're okay. We got drums and starting up at the BKB. There's another Ogre Club. That's actually Mads. So we've got Crystal Maiden, who can also afford up an Ogre Club at this point. The upside about taking so many out of towers so quickly. You're 15 minutes in and you've just taken all 3 towers on the top, and you've taken the other 2 tier 1 towers. So you basically got yourself about 6k worth of gold that's come in to the team. Then again, no, there was a couple of denials, so maybe not as much. But they're about to find more. That BKB is fully done up on Pugna. And they even smoke. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Clockwork jumping in the gyro. This smoke's actually going to give him the mover speed to get there in time, but actually not enough time to save Soshka. An MSS on the run out here. They won't catch up to him, but Clockwork's on the sidelines now.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
And in fact, Faye's going to TP down the bottom lane. Wants to push out. Oh, hey! Whoa! 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 That is a lot. That is a lot of damage quickly as well.
Radiant's top tower is under
Night
attack.
Stalker now we go into our next nighttime phase. Going to extend it as much as possible. Finds himself a regeneration rune as well. But MSS not really looking that great on the levels. And he knows it as well. He knows he wants to be level 11 by this point. He just hasn't been able to find these kills. He's 103, so at least there's no deaths to his name. But as you can see, his net worth is very, very far down. He's smack bang in the middle of the pack, not right next to the Visage. And then you got Pugna, who's now got 8k. And in fact, it looks like we're not going to see an Aghanim Scepter up from Pugna, which I'm kind of still waiting to see, the whole like mana drain kind of thing. But instead, we're going to see Necro Books. I know some guy kept tweeting me out before early today. It's like, yo man, like, why? Every game there's Necro Books. Before, no one wanted the minions. Mark actually explained it best when he was streaming with me the other day. And that was just, now with the changes to the way you can dominate and what you can and cannot dominate, oh, Fader, get that Nether Ward down. In fact, he'll pop the BKB, and now just wants to force him back out of here. Possibly a little bit too aggressive popping up that BKB. That's his full 10-second BKB using a defensive mana. Nether Ward was enough to get MSS out there, as well as the TP in from the gyro. Yeah. With the changes to Necro Books, it's just such a powerful thing to have. And in lineups which have really started to become a lot more push-focused. Wow. Whole fucking one. They don't have a stun. Familiar's going to be too late. Soshka knew it too. I think he got a glimpse of him and then just backed off. It's like, I can't get that. They use cooldown for that too, but the cooldown's fairly low. Yeah, but with these push lineups, the Necro books are the perfect unit of choice, especially when you're getting, because you get the burst money coming out from the towers, so it makes Necro books a lot more affordable. It's a very expensive item.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So bottom tier 1 tower goes down. In fact, just to look at the Necro books, you look at 5,200 to finish up your full level 3. It's 2,700 to get the first level. But there's just so many other items you would normally be able to pick up for that kind of money, which would be a lot more useful if you were going like a safer, slower kind of approach to the game. But in this version, Necro books rule the world.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And these Dire wards, very interesting positions as well from EG. They're a lot deeper inside their jungle, but they're not in the standard positions. Like the standard positions around here, this is normally where you like throw down a sentry to D-ward. The downside is the fact that you've got this gem over on Visage. So it's also in a place where he wouldn't normally go either. Well, they're really looking for a kill on this bottom lane up against Fader. I know MSS is down here, but he's just using Void to farm, and they know it. Yeah, but the Visage, when he comes up, will normally try and hunt around this area, or hunt around this area. There's not much reason for him to actually walk through this line right here, because if he walks through here, then he's come all the way up through the top lane. Or he's falling back. Oh, Ice Shards, they catch out Fog. Again, that Sentry Ward, that Observer Ward going to work. And the cooldown hitting perfectly in combination as well with the Tuskar pumped up. But where's that wall down from Fear? He had 4 of them all grouped up together, but he never got the wall down. Now he's going to have to throw it down. He gets a copy of, well, actually very, very little. Fear throws out the Nether Ward, and now with the Decrepify stops the Night Stalker from attacking. It also allows Soshka to do a little bit more damage there. I'm hearing a hook shot in, and that's going to be enough to pick up the Visage. At the same time, Fear is caught a long, long way from home. It's going to be a triple kill right now. The gem was dropped because the Visage went down. Universe coming in to steal it, but now, well, okay, now that is just greedy. Obviously, it's worth a lot more. That's a $900 gem that was sitting on the deck right then, but it just meant 5 heroes dead as opposed to 4 for the price of 1. Which still is going to make it so Sigma has a huge advantage over Evil Geniuses right now. Absolutely huge advantage. Falk is on the defense duties. Pugner, how's that Necro book going? Okay. In fact, we get... well, I talked about them ruling the way. Miguel will pick up a level 1 back at base. And we've got Pugner, who has a level 1. And almost has a level 2. I say almost. At this point of the game, there's not even much point going for Roshan. When they take out the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, they may consider it a little bit more. But for now, it's not really that important for Sigma. They don't require an Aegis Immortal. The damage they do to the racks is all momentum based. And when EG jump out, obviously it's going to be fear of them dying, but it's not that bad. And now, well, Ice Shards to fly in the Novas as well. They clean up the creep wave. Jay also losing some of his tree cover there, and Soshka's going to make life a little bit harder. He just picked up a DD rune, and he's going to battle this one up. Call down up against Universe. The problem is he's killing himself by doing this. Universe just popped his blade mail and made Soshka hit himself. Quite literally. So nice little play coming out from Universe. Still the problem with this top lane forever pushing in. And they've only claimed 1 tier 1 tower. Pass will try and defend this mid tier 1. There's Fog choosing to put that liquid fire on the tier 1 tower in the mid. Familiars, they need to drop down right now, and they're going to get a double stun. Well, actually just a singular stun over on Jo. Wasn't chained off. And with the Grave Chill, Jay's going to be moving very, very slowly, and also Fogged. Getting slightly caught out, and hold a punch! Right through Fogged. One shot just won't keep him alive there at all. Surprising too, Miguel didn't bring in a couple of units to help Malf. Oh, Jo, you cheeky man! He jumps in behind. The tier 2 tower went down to Fear and Universe in this bottom lane. Universe, who also still has this level 2 hook shot. So you put an Iron Shell up on him again, and he pops the Blade Mail. And Sosh's going to die a lot faster than he did before. Yeah, and I think that's... yeah, Universe moves up a little bit higher. Fear's got to keep this creep wave in front of this point.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So important. And now Jay is also up on the top lane, taking out the tier 1 tower up there. Oi, oi, oi. BKBs for Night Stalker. Pugn just gets level 2 Necro book. But this is now the danger side of going for a hero like a Pugner. If you don't take the racks early on, you don't gain that advantage, which lets you just keep pushing and taking it out. Your Night Stalker and your Weaver, your Clockwork, your Darkseer, these 4 heroes in the late portion of the game are going to completely stomp all over that Gyro, who hasn't got a huge amount of farm. Like, he's sitting at 2nd net worth, so obviously it's great. But the main body of the farm has gone into that level 3 Necro Book coming the way of Fader. That's where they put most of their investment. And MSS, just once that BKB comes up, the Pugna's not really going to do that much to him. It's then in the hands of Gyro and Tusker to control, because they don't have anything that goes through the BKB. They basically need a Scythe device, in fact. But if they do that, then they're also going to have the problem with the Weaver. It will just give him a Lincoln Sphere. Because that Lincoln Sphere also changed up so you can apply it to your allies. Which means then you can have Night Stalker diving in with a BKB, and if he doesn't, at the very, very side, he can jump in with the Lincoln Sphere recipe up on him. Or Lincoln Sphere effect on him. Oh, this could be a really bad position. They're wanting to fight on bottom lane and expecting Sigma to be defending from inside their base, but Sigma have rotated around. They can observe what's down, so they know people are moving in Universe as well as Fear. They're just doing the best thing in the world. They're hiding in the tree line, which means Jo, the most maneuverable hero of all, Lincoln Sphere will trigger. That was, yeah, homing missile, triggers Lincoln Sphere. And then they can just bail themselves out. In fact, they may not just bail themselves out. If there's any kind of ward, the Observer Ward's watching Fear moving around here. It's not seeing Universe, however, but Fear is going to be in a lot of trouble. And now Universe is going to make the choice. It's jump in. It's a surge away from Fear. They're not going to be able to catch him. It's a homing missile to cripple fire blast. Actually, that's a lot. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Enter oblivion.
That's that single focus target. Spell resistance reduction of 50%. So you take away 50% of his spell resistance, and that happens. Miguel on top lane. Oh, I think MSS. Like, he got the... he's in trouble. Necro Books come up. Snowball's going to come. There's going to be a punch in just a moment as well. They're just trying to burn it out, and then with the Ice Shards, yeah, he's locked in here on this top lane. And those Necro units just keep attacking him from range. Miguel, he doesn't have enough to finish the job. 32 life points, and then Jo is trying to lock Miguel in here. He'll throw the bugs out, unable to latch onto Miguel. But should consider himself very, very lucky. The Necro units are holding the creep wave. And then on bottom lane, Mad. And you got a Crystal Maiden with some decent movement speed. There's your level 3 Necro book up for Pugna. Straight in the middle lane. Quick Pugna Blast. Take out the Iron Shell creep. And Fear just says, well, I only used Iron Shell mana for it. There's no problem there whatsoever. But Jo is getting a lot of space up in that top lane. Still no damage dealing item out from him, and we're 25 minutes into this game. Which I think out of everything is probably the biggest concern. Oh, nice shards. But Fader. There's just no lockdown for the Weaver. They need racks. It's just that simple. They need racks, but every single time they try and get it, like they need at least 3 or 4 people from Sigma to gank up Universe and Fear. Because they're just such troublesome heroes. Familiar Birds can't keep this lane pushed out. They can't. Not up against the power of Iron Shells and the possibility of a Clockwork jump in on any kind of hero that comes down for it too. And then you got MSS as well as Fogged, who are just running around with chickens with their heads cut off around the middle lane, but they're keeping that lane out and they're keeping a presence there. And then Jo up on the top lane, kept pushing that one out, finding himself some levels, finding himself some farm, and more than likely trying to work himself into that Desolator. He's got no Monkey King Bar heroes up on this. He could go a Butterfly of his own, but considering the magical damage, it's not as wise probably to do that. And now, pass, yeah, TP's out. Joe's going to be too late, but it's the top lane. It's just the top lane. Fortification's available here for EG, and they're going to have to use it. Pugna Blast already being used, and look at the racks just dropping. You've got Necro units which are going to keep their pressure going as well, and a level 3 Necro book picked up by Tusker. Not in just a Universe. Oh, wow. That 4-star pushes him out and far enough away from Fader, who with that BKB doesn't care about the Blade Mail. And the melee racks will go. The Necro units are focusing on Jo, the man who has no mana left whatsoever. The BKBs are off inside. That's a good back in. And Universe jump out, but the nuke hit that comes down, even just from Mad, who can throw the ulti out down as well. And Fear, he's just on the edge of it. That last attack, it's going to be enough from Fader. MSS, he has to walk around. Nah, he's going to be fine. He'll go back through the... Yeah, of course, it's his own wall. It's fine. Back out to safety. Melee rack's already taken a fall, and there's 6 life points over on this range rack. And there's your one attack. That one little range creep there that got instantly surrounded by the dire side. takes the range racks and gives a full raxing on the top lane against EG in favor of Sigma. And now the pressure has to shift to the bottom lane. As always, when you're running push lineups, you want to have both top lane and bottom lane as your primarily pushed out lanes. The middle lane's okay, but more importantly, you want the EG lineup to have to defend up here and then go all the way down here and then defend here, which basically makes you running a 5-man push strat impossible. And now you're going up against like BKB style Crystal Maidens. You've got Aghanims on the way for the Visage. In fact, I'd say more than on the way. He'll finish it in 20 gold. Tuskar's got Mech as well as his level 3 Necro book. And building up to more, 900 gold up on him. BKB's on Pogner as well. And he's got 2,500, so that Scythe of Ice will be on the way. And then you got Sochka. It was meant to be our DPS, man. BKB, basically all he's really got, but he'll look at the Monkey King bar coming up shortly. If not, just a Demon Edge before the fight begins. And looks like the focus coming out from Sigma is actually not on the bottom lane. They don't want to go through the tier 2 towers. They want to look in towards the mid. Sentry Ward's going down, going to look in for that Weaver, which might be jumping in behind him, or if there's anyone with an Invis rune. Now you got MSS and Universe in the bottom lane. Also another bad thing for EG, they have no nighttime option for 30 seconds. Like, we've just gone into our next daytime cycle, and the ultimate of Night Stalkers on the sidelines. And with no fortification, this can be just Sigma slowly pushing in. I'd say slowly pushing in. Miguel diving in a long way. But it's all harassment. They've got 4 Necro units out in the field right now, bringing down that tower. Wonderful back into a wall. Macropyre as well. But now you see that stayability of Fader. He just pops the BKB up. Miguel's running in and out of this fight right now. Jakira's the only one to go down. But they're throwing out Novas, Frostbites on Fear, Rocket, Soul Assumption, Life Leeching out from Fader. They're destroying everybody. Clockwork will come back into this fight as well. And they take the Weaver out. He force-halves away Universe. He's just using the Cogs to keep him away from the racks for the moment. But the amount of buybacks which are coming is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Necro units can come back up again in 30 seconds time. And now I think someone from Sigma has to go bottom lane. Oh, actually, no, they don't. Weaver's on the sidelines. He's not going to buy back anytime soon. Because he cannot. He already bought back before that. You had 3 buybacks come out from EG just then. And Matt will get out of there. Ice Path. He's got a stick charge. That life drain is going in Universe. The snowball's coming in as well. It will not reach, but it's bringing everyone from Sigma up to that high ground. And Miguel, well, they can't mech him up just yet. The back down again, but there's no wall. Look at the familiar birds. Pass just holds the high ground, and now even goes to MSS. There's a Frostbite from Crystal Maiden that will hold him there long enough. Fader is dominating this one up, and this is GG, peoples. They will take the mid racks. They will not even blast down the rest of it. They can just go in for the GG, and Fear says, I'm not even going to wait for you to take out the bottom lane. This is fully GG. 28-10, it took 31 minutes for it to happen. But Sigma will take game, but not the set and match though. This is a best of 3. This is only game number 1. So get out there on your Twitters, your Facebooks, and whatever else you use, and let the world know that we will be doing more action in just a couple of moments' time when we'll have Sigma go up against EG in game number 2, coming up to you from the Dota 2 Championship League. We'll see you shortly.